Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with the Vampire Coast, going to be taking a look at another replay from Pharaoh O War. Congratulations to Pharaoh on an awesome series with Pipington, even though he didn't win. That was one of the best series I've ever seen, for those of you who got to watch that on Turin's tournament. Yeah, very, very good series. And congrats to Pipington for taking it, and of course, Pharaoh War for getting to participate. In terms of his army here, he's got a front line of deckhand mobs. We've got a couple of depth guard, the fleet admiral with the polearm, gunnery white. Also got some rotting Prometheans, polearms in the back, 3 deck gunners, including the Regiment of Renown Shade Wraith gunners. Got some bats and some hounds hidden in the corner for the Wood Elves. A couple of Deepwood scouts, solid choice here. We've got Orion, 3 units of Eternal Guards with shields. One of them is the Winterheart Guard. Also got a Branch Wraith here, some War Dancers with Azurite Spear, 1 Deepwood Scout and a Way Watcher. And I believe there's some Wild Riders hidden around. Yep, looks like some Wild Riders in the back making their way towards the main engagement here. You can see right off the bat, Deck Gunner is going to be taking some heat. They are returning fire a little bit here, but definitely taking more damage than they're able to dish out here. It's pretty unfortunate. Deepwood Scouts, honestly, pretty decent here. Oh, these guys are actually Way Watchers. Way Watchers using their AP missiles against Deck Gunners isn't going to be the best because Deck Gunners are such a low armor unit. You probably want to use the Deepwood Scouts to fire at them instead, but instead the Deepwood Scouts having to kite Depth Guard. The Way Watchers really ought to be shooting at the Depth Guard here, or at least the Rotting Prometheans or something, but nonetheless, they're using their ammo shooting at the Deck Gunners, which they are just about able to take down one unit, so the counter skirmish is pretty real at this point. Wild Rider's going to punch through this unit of zombies. They will get bogged down a little bit here, but they should be able to finish off those zombies. Meanwhile, we've got some bats and the Depth Guard able to catch some of these Deepwood Scouts and start to clean them up here. So that's a very, very favorable situation for Pharaoh War. Meanwhile, he's able to maybe stabilize this deckhand, maybe not. But nonetheless, 2 units of Deck Gunner still online. One has been taken out, but they are returning fire on those Way Watchers. And yeah, meanwhile, the other 2 skirmish units making their way forward as well. Zombie deckhand mobs very cost effectively catching the Way Watcher arrows to the face, which is exactly what you want in that situation. And yeah, Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers on this side getting cleaned up here. Looks like a Hornswaggle on them, debuffing their speed, which then allows these Rotting Prometheans to get in here and give them the old Crab and Gah. So yeah, definitely not the greatest situation for the Wood Elves so far. They are losing out a little bit here, but Wild Riders with shields come in to interrupt these Depth Guard. They probably want to cycle charge. They have a very high charge bonus, but sitting in sustained combat against the Depth Guard isn't going to be the best. That being said, we've got more Wild Riders making their way over. A very kind of spread engagement at this point here. Orion's going to be using his Hawk's Talon here. Looks like those deckhand mobs just about able to dodge it there. Meanwhile, looks like the Hounds of Orion, I thought were going to go down in the back there, but it looks like being canceled at the last moment. Depth Guard getting charged by Wild Riders there with Horn of the Wild Hunt active. They are just going to wreck them on the charge. You can see them coming in doing a ton of damage here, so that unit of Depth Guard a little bit separated, probably going to get finished off. Meanwhile, we've got some summoned gunnery mobs here. Probably going to about face and start shooting into the back of these Eternal Guards, I would imagine. Maybe. Right now they're facing in the other direction, but the Deck Gunners firing downhill, getting some very effective fire into those Way Watchers. Meanwhile, the Hounds coming in and nomming on these Deepwood Scouts here. Orion's going to try and support and finish off these Hounds here, but we do also have some polearms. Saw Penumbral Pendulum go off in the front line there, do a ton of damage to the Shade Wraith Gunners. Unfortunately, not quite able to finish them off, but you can see over here those Depth Guard got finished off. The Marauding Prometheans trying to make it back to their safety of their own lines as these Way Watchers and the Deepwood Scouts continue to apply some pressure there. So Gunnery White also going to get in here. Unfortunately, Gunny's not up on the Crab, which I find he has major line of sight issues when he's on foot. When he's up on the Crab, he tends to not get interrupted line of sight nearly as easily. But you can see there, these Way Watchers getting eaten up by Hounds still. Very, very cost-effective use of these dire wolves here, or sorry, scurvy dogs. Whatever, they're the same thing basically. They're just a little bit cheaper. And Orion will get in here and land some of them, but not before they've done a ton of damage to these Way Watchers and managed to zone them out. I believe the Deepwood Scouts on this pocket also got eaten up. So, yeah, so far very cost effective. use of some low-tier units for the Vampire Coast. You can see one unit of Wild Riders getting tangled up with deckhand mobs with polearms. This is not the best situation for these Wild Riders. They're going to get dragged down by zombies here. Again, very, very cost effectively. Even trying to push through there and get to those Shade Wraith Gunners at the back line, you really need to try and pull, like, disengage cleanly away and pull up and around, but zombies are very, very heavy. In terms of their mass, I actually think they count as heavy infantry, despite the fact that they have very low armor. So trying to pull through them, you just aren't going to be able to effectively. These Wild Riders, unfortunately, learning that the hard way. Meanwhile, Shade Wraith Gunners pulling back. We've also got some more deck gunners. Gunnery White still online. The Promethean's going to come forward, maybe, and try and shut down some archers. Nope, look like they're staying in the back line. Trying to support here the Vampire Fleet Captain, which hasn't been focused at all so far. Gonna get a little bit of focus fire here, but also start to carve up some of these Eternal Guards here. There we go, bud. And yeah, get some pretty good work done. At this point, the balance has turned somewhat in the Vampire Coast's favor, although certainly the Wood Elves very dangerous in this kind of second late game kiting phase, especially with Orion still so healthy. You can see here these Depth Guard cleaning up some Eternal Guards with shields here. Most of the Eternal Guards have been shut down at this point, but let's see. These Way Watchers are out of ammo. War Dancers with the Azrai Spear is still online, but these Deepwood Scouts are also out of ammo, so a lot of the skirmish units for the Wood Elves having run out of ammo without having neutralized a lot of the high value targets here, like these Depth Guard, the Rotting Prometheans, the heroic units, managed to do a lot of damage to zombies, but I mean, they're just zombies at the end of the day, right? They're not really that cost effective to shoot at, but these War Dancers going to get in here. You can see Pharaoh trying to pull away the Rotting Prometheans there. Very wisely done. Their War Dancers going to go ahead and switch targets and try and come down onto this low ground, probably to catch these Depth Guard here. The Shade Wraith Gunners providing some Overwatch fire, but these Depth Guard are going to get caught up by Orion here. And they should be able to do some okay damage against Orion, but still probably not going to be the most cost-effective use of these Depth Guard here, but nonetheless, they are able to finish off those Deepwood Scouts, and Orion taking some serious heat from those Deck Gunners there, so maybe it is going to be a little bit cost-effective at the end of the day there, but looks like Hounds of Gibson trying to screen out. Orion's going to go try and get out in the back line and go after those Deck Gunners, which I guess better late than never. But Gunnery White still online, enhanced ballistics for himself as he pops off shots. I'm not sure, is he actually shooting at Orion? He is actually shooting at Orion. So yeah, Gunnery White trying to snipe things out a little bit there, but looking like he's going to get involved in combat with these War Dancers instead, who are going to drag down the last of these Rotting Prometheans, but some summoned deckhand mobs there, very nicely done, helping to bog down those War Dancers, and this will be super cost effective here, use of these deckhands to help fight the... oh man, a little bit of friendly fire from the Deck Gunners there. As Orion comes in, they're going to get a little bit of blasting from their own Shade Wraith Gunners here, but nonetheless, Orion's continuing to take that damage, trying to push through to get on the Shade Wraith Gunners. He doesn't actually have magic attacks, but they have such low HP that he should be able to take out their unit models without too much issue. That being said, the Admiral's coming back. Gunny's trying to get in a position where he can get a clean shot on Orion. But the Fleet Captain with the Admiral, rather, with the polearm, definitely not what Orion wants to be a part of, so he's going to go ahead and tactically retreat there, try and finish off these other Deck Gunners here. But that is going to allow the Shade Wraith Gunners once again to draw a bead on him, and they don't do the most damage, but they will do a bit of damage, enough to certainly get some work done here. Meanwhile, the front line for the Vampire Coast has completely crumbled, and these War Dancers now pushing through the second line here. Gunny finishing off some Eternal Guards here as well. Alright, swords out, Gunny. That's what's up. Anyway, oh man, the War Dancers with the Azrai Spear getting in the back line here, shutting down those Shade Wraith Gunners, sending them into crumbling. These deckhand mobs are also crumbling, so we're not quite out of the woods yet, no pun intended. Obviously, Wood Elves and all that. But Gunny still being so healthy, and the Admiral here, especially with the polearm, there's just not a lot that can finish him off at this point. Balance power very heavily in the favor of the Vampire Coast at this point, so we'll watch as the Admiral tries to get in here. Orion's going to finish off some of these supporting units, and you can see Gunny just popping him with some shots there, very cost effectively. Not sure how much Gunny costs on foot like this, I'll have to look after the fact, but probably relatively cheap. Orion is going to try and come back after him, along with these Azrai Spear and everything. There still is this one unit of depth guard here, one more unit of zombies with pole arms as well, so we're going to fast forward a little bit as these forces kind of reunify here. Earthblood there hitting pretty much all the units in that pocket, especially those War Dancers, but the issue is that the Depth Guard are just going to come in and cut these War Dancers to pieces, despite the fact War Dancers have pretty good melee defense, 51 melee defense, overall very good combat stats. The Depth Guard just, I mean, they're 57 melee attack, means they can make solid contact here, and they have very high weapon strength as well, so, ooh, looks like we're going to be getting a summon. Yep. Another zombie deckhand summon as well, just to provide extra numbers here, and those Azrai Spear are finished off completely. And at this point, it's just a matter of finishing off the Branch Wraith and Orion and everything. So Gunny, once again, popping off shots into Orion. Come on, bud. You got an open bead now. Maybe not. Looks like he's going to get his sword out instead. But, yeah. Oh, man, Orion actually just going straight after Gunny, trying to finish him off here. But here comes Fleet Admiral here with Hornswaggle. He's got his anti-large AP, all hand sway, so yeah, Orion gonna get finished off here. And a very fun battle, well played to Pharaoh War, big thanks to submitting there. Yeah, Orion's gonna try and escape here, but the Hornswaggle and everything, and Gunny popping him in the back there is gonna be too much, so we'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit through this late game, as the Branch Wraith is now gonna get finished off by the Depth Guard. Gunny continuing to pop shots into Orion. He's going to try and come back after him, but the Fleet Admiral's there with his anti-large AP, manages to finish off Orion, and with that, it's going to be victory for the Vampire Coast. And very well played to Pharaoh War. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. It's a very interesting matchup. Certainly, I think you can go a little bit more skirmish heavy than this is the Wood Elves. Just bring some Glade Guard. Honestly, Glade Guard super cost effective in this matchup, as long as you can protect them from hounds, like you use these Wild Riders to protect from hounds, and then your archers are going to be more or less free to kite and fight as much as they need to. But you can see for Pharaoh, those Depth Guard cleaning up a ton of kills, very cost effective in this matchup if you can keep them from getting shot up too much. Deck Gunners, on the other hand, did provide a bit of a distraction tool. Honestly, they managed to soak a lot of the damage from the Way Watchers and the Deepwood Scouts there. You can see this unit of Deepwood Scouts, 0 kills, really rough stuff. 120, 97, 81, 87, 129, so lots of kills across the board for various Wood Elf units. Wild Riders unfortunately didn't quite perform there, but nonetheless, Pharaoh, 74 kills on deckhand mobs, up to a Silver Chevron. Not sure what these guys did. They must have done something very cost effective. But, yeah, for the Wood Elves, personally, I would probably trade out these 2 Wild Riders for Sisters of Thorn, just because they have the missile resistance. They're a little bit better in this matchup, I find. And, of course, the support buffs also, you know, allow you to control your opponent, give it a little bit of extra physical resistance with Shield of Thorns. So, definitely would recommend them rather than Wild Riders in this matchup. I mean, they'll beat down Hounds just fine. And then, yeah, maybe I would cut those 2, cut the War Dancers with the Azrai Spear, maybe bring a couple more Eternal Guard with shields, and then just bring a whole bunch of Glade Guard. Would probably be my go-to, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.